When someone we care about gets really sick, our first instinct is to help, right? We want to say the right thing. But what if the things we say, the things we think are helpful, are actually making things worse? Let's dive into this, because what people truly need in a crisis can be the exact opposite of what our instincts tell us. Listen to this. This is from a Reddit user with stage 4 cancer, and it cuts right to the heart of the problem. It's such a powerful example of that huge gap between what we mean to say and how it actually lands. You see someone you love and you want to make them feel better, so you say, "Hey, you look great." But what they're hearing is, "You have no idea what I'm going through." Okay, so let's dig into the specifics. What are these phrases that, even when we mean well, can just feel like a punch to the gut? This is what people really wish we would stop saying. So one of the biggest offenders here is something called toxic positivity. It's this relentless pressure to always be positive, to look on the bright side no matter what. And when you do that, it can feel like you're just totally dismissing someone's very real pain, their fear, their grief. Oh, this one. "You're so strong." We say it all the time, right? We mean it as a compliment. But for the person hearing it, it can feel like this massive, crushing weight. Listen to how one user put it, as if I signed up for the cancer draft. It's not like I had an option or a choice. See? When you tell someone they're strong, it's like you're taking away their permission to be scared, or to be weak, or just to have a really, really bad day. And then there's this one. "Miracles happen." I know it sounds helpful, but imagine you're trying to make really practical, tough, end-of-life plans for your family, and someone says that. It's so invalidating. It's like you're being told that your realism is a lack of faith, and it totally ignores the need to process what's actually happening. All right, next up, that impulse we all have to give advice or to share stories we think are helpful. And this is where good intentions can go so wrong and end up making the person feel even more alone than before. Can you even imagine this? You're fighting for your life, and someone, in an attempt to relate, tells you a story about someone they knew who died from the exact same thing. It's supposed to be a moment of connection, but instead it's just a horror story. It's terrifying. And this quote just nails the frustration so perfectly. Patients have to put so much trust in their doctors. So when we come in with some random, unverified treatment we heard about, it's not just unhelpful, it can actually undermine their whole care plan. It just adds so much stress they absolutely do not need. A lot of these phrases, they really come from our own discomfort, don't they? We see someone's pain, and it makes us uncomfortable, so we try to make it smaller, more manageable for us, even if that means denying their reality. This is just brutal. So many people going through treatment are working so hard just to seem normal. One person said chemo fatigue is unmatched, and I believe it. So when we just assume their appearance reflects how they feel inside, it creates this awful disconnect, and it forces them into a corner. Either they correct you and feel awkward, or they just have to suffer in silence. Okay, so here's the big question, right? If we all have good intentions, why is this so incredibly hard to get right? It feels like our instincts are just failing us. We're missing some kind of framework. So to find a better way, we're going to look in a place you would never, ever expect. Yeah, we are going to talk about managing your online presence. I know, it sounds so cold and corporate, but just hang in there with me on this one. Because the way professionals think about building a digital identity, it holds this really powerful lesson for how we can be better humans for each other. Okay, so think about it like this. Your digital footprint, that's the stuff you actively post. It's the story you choose to tell about yourself. But their digital shadow, that's what other people post about you. And we all know instinctively that if you want to control your own story online, you have to be proactive. You have to create your own content. You can't just let other people define who you are. And this, right here, just shows the paradox perfectly. On one side, you've got this raw, unfiltered human need, just a cry for genuine connection. And on the other side, a perfectly planned out social media calendar. Think about it. We spend hours planning what we post online. Do we spend even 5 minutes thinking about what to say to a friend in crisis? Just look at how deliberate this is. In the business world, you don't just jump in and start posting. You assess yourself, you define your goals, you improve your content, and then you communicate. You have a strategy. And that is the piece that's missing from our personal interactions.
So, what if we took that same strategic mindset and applied it not to selling a product, but to showing empathy? What if we stopped just broadcasting what we think is comforting and started, well, strategically listening instead?
Okay, this is the absolute heart of the idea. A business assesses its assets. What if we assessed our actual honest capacity to help? A marketer figures out their target audience. What if we tried to understand the specific needs of the person right now? Not last week, but today. A company has marketing objectives. We need to decide what our goal is. Is it to comfort? Is it just to listen, or is it to actually do something? It's a huge shift from talking at someone to truly being with them. And that brings us right back to this raw human truth. Look, this isn't about being cold or calculating. It's about being prepared. It's about doing that internal check-in with yourself before you ask the question, so when they give you the real, honest, messy answer, you're actually ready to hear it without making it all about your own discomfort.
All right, so after all of this, what are you supposed to actually say? Well, the good news is it's simpler than you think. Once you shift your mindset to listening first, the right words, they kind of reveal themselves. Turns out they were in that Reddit thread the whole time.
Just take a look at this list. It's not about finding some magical, perfect sentence. It's about being honest. You know what? I'm not sure what to say, but I'm here. It's about bringing back normalcy. Tell me about your day, even the boring stuff. And most of all, it's about specific action. Don't just say, let me know if you need anything. That puts the burden on them. Instead, say, hey, can I come over and do a load of laundry for you? That turns a vague platitude into a real, concrete act of kindness. And this might be the most important takeaway of all. We get so paralyzed by the fear of saying the wrong thing that we end up saying nothing at all. But that silence, it can be absolutely deafening. It can feel like abandonment. The truth is, even a clumsy, awkward attempt to connect is almost always better than just disappearing.
So in the end, it really is like our digital presence. Our human presence leaves a mark. Our words leave a footprint in someone's life, for better or for worse. We can let an awkward shadow of our own discomfort define that interaction, or we can choose to be intentional. We can choose to leave a footprint that says, I see you and I'm here.
So it really leaves us with one last question to chew on. We pour so much thought and energy into curating our digital selves, crafting that perfect online brand. The question is, are we bringing that same level of care, that same intention, to our human selves, especially in the moments that matter most?